Welcome back, boys and girls. This is episode 84, your Hump Day podcast, 8-Bit Bourbon, and happy Amazon Prime Day. If you're listening to this on Wednesday, which you better be, because that's when it comes out. Supposedly deals that rival Black Friday. That's what they're saying.
Did you ever do any Black Friday shopping on, isn't there a big thing like Cyber Monday?
I don't think so. Yeah, I think it's more Cyber Monday. I think Amazon does it for like a week now, though.
Yeah.
And apparently Walmart was like, well, fuck it, we're going to have a sale, too, which is funny, because I think Amazon Prime's like celebrating 5 years, 10 years of Prime or something, so it's like, it's really weird that Walmart's like, fuck it, we're in.
Yeah, it's free Prime shipping for everybody?
No, I think it's only for, I think all the sales are only for Prime customers.
Oh, okay.
They're giving away 30 days of Prime, so pretty much anybody can get it.
That's nice.
Something like that. I don't know. I didn't do any real research on it. But
yeah,
I saw some of the stuff. There's like a 40-inch TV for $115. I mean, that's a steal. I don't care how shitty that TV is.
That's pretty sweet.
For
Fun.
For putting it someplace that you don't need it, you know what I mean?
Like your asshole?
Right, exactly. I'm going to make that my bathroom TV. There was something else that was really nice, too.
Any game sales?
A bunch.
Yeah, they have announced the sale?
Yeah, I don't think they've announced all of them.
Well,
they said they had like $90 off a Roomba.
Ooh, I love my Roomba.
Shit, what else? There was something else that was really interesting. I don't know. I'd have to look back.
Get a Roomba. Get a Roomba and a 40-inch TV and some video games. Yeah. And you're all set.
It's like Amazon really is the new Walmart. You can get anything you need. Get a steak and a
nice steak.
And a Roomba.
A nice steak dinner.
So I feel like shit. I've got a heat pack on my neck.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Styling.
I feel terrible.
What the fuck happened to you? Just get sick?
It's really bad, yeah. I just was on my deathbed yesterday. I went to work today, which was a miracle. I felt way worse today than I did getting back from Vegas, which is saying something.
That is say something. And both of us not drinking tonight.
No.
It's the first podcast we've ever done where we're not drinking.
I think so. I actually thought about it, and then I was like, that would just be so stupid.
I have to be up at work for like 4 in the morning, so drinking is really not an option on Tuesday night.
Yeah. I'm already sweating because the air conditioner's off.
Yeah, well, that heating pack's probably not doing you any favors.
No, definitely not. I'm also feverish, so I've been sweating all day. So.
Aren't you supposed to get really hot to break a fever?
Yeah, sweat it out. That's what they say. I was going to go to the Y and sit in the steam room, but I just didn't want to see all the old balls. So.
This sounds like a perfect reason to go to the YMCA.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you just can't wear a towel in there, huh? You just can't do that.
I know. Old balls.
I get it when you're changing, but like, here's what I don't understand about gym etiquette. Maybe we grew up in a different time. I'm fine with you changing. You don't have to change under your towel. Whatever. That doesn't bother me. But when you immediately go in the locker room and drop your drawers and then like walk to the urinal completely naked and piss, that's a little over the top to me. It's weird. Why don't you keep the shorts on while you go piss?
When I used to work at the Y, like the little kids would be in there, and these old guys just walking butt ass naked around the little kids, just dicks swinging and old balls.
I'm sure one of them's name was Chester the Molester.
I know, right? It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I would not want my kid in that atmosphere. I don't want me in that atmosphere, so I definitely don't want my kid in that atmosphere.
It's funny, like everybody always, like it's like a common thing. Like in all gyms, there's old people that just get naked.
I mean, it's definitely from like an older generation of like, that's just the way it was done. But I just don't, like I said, I'm fine with you being naked in the locker room. But do you have to take a lap around the thing naked? That's the weird part to me. It's almost like you're like...
I want to see somebody helicopter.
It's almost like you're helicoptering around the whole fucking thing. It's, I don't know. What is this podcast about?
Old man penis.
Oh, God, I'm starting to feel better already. I wonder why.
Old man penis?
Maybe. Balls, more likely. Yeah, so there's that. I did nothing this week, pretty much, since the last podcast, because I got drunk Friday night. The last time I played video games was here. When we were playing Mortal Kombat.
You whipped my ass.
And that's pretty much it. I don't think I've played once. Actually, I played for 5 seconds while I was sitting on my bed waiting for your text.
That's pretty good. Counts. 5 seconds?
It's probably literally 2 minutes.
Nice. I did something Saturday. Our friend Jay, he inherited his grandfather passed away. It was last year, this year.
I don't know. If you're asking me.
But
it was within the last 2 years.
But his grandfather used to work for Coleco. Is that the main company? Coleco, or they? I don't know.
Did he work for Coleco, or did he work for something involved with Coleco?
I don't know. That's what I was wondering.
Yeah,
because I know in Amsterdam there used to be the Coleco factory.
I think he told me this story a while ago, but I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, me either. But anyways, his grandfather had all these ColecoVision games that he just, I don't know if when they closed he just took them, or if he just took them over time. But I went over there and helped Jay sort out and make an inventory list of all the ColecoVision games he had. He has so many ColecoVision games. It's 58 ColecoVision games, most of them sealed in box, never opened. And
Crazy.
I never played a ColecoVision before.
He's
I still
gotta have-
haven't. We didn't try any of them, but.
I owned a ColecoVision, so I've probably played almost all of those
What
games.
was like the ColecoVision like a rival to? Was it like more like Atari
I wanna say it was
2600?
Atari, yeah.
Because it's so weird. Like these games, some of them say they work in the ColecoVision and the Atari 2600.
Yeah, it was before my time. I mean, I played ColecoVision after like we had a Super Nintendo, and then me and my brother Joe took it out of the closet. So like I don't even remember. Like I mean, I think it came out when we were born, but that thing has awesome games. I'm telling you. Like me and my brother would take it out every once in a while, and we used to have like 40 games, and my brother Ben took them to the fucking dump.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine nowadays like having like
Ours weren't sealed. Ours were beat to shit.
having like an Xbox game that works in a PS3?
I know,
It's so weird. Like how the fuck did they like
I don't know. I wonder.
work that out?
I don't know if they hit. I was just gonna say they're made by the same company. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I was just wondering too. How the hell do we have so many ColecoVision? 40 might be an exaggeration, but we had well over 20. How the hell do we have 20 ColecoVision games? I feel like my brothers must have stolen.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
somewhere.
did Dan and Joe steal
It
them?
seems like my parents did not have enough money to be buying.
They all
20
have like
ColecoVision
Captain
games.
Video stickers
We
scratched
had,
off
like,
them.
4 controllers, which is like unheard of back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Coleco. You guys should play some. Does he have a ColecoVision?
Yeah, he has. I think
Is
he
it
might
boxed,
have.
though?
No, it's unboxed.
Oh yeah, you guys should play it then.
I think he has like a couple of them,
As
maybe.
long as you're not going to damage, like, the boxed one, then I would definitely.
He's got-
I'm telling you, it's like there's some legit shit. That system got, I think, destroyed by the hype of everything else. Like I think it was the Atari or whatever was out at the time. Do you remember the Jaguar?
Yeah, I remember the
It was
Jaguar.
hilarious.
But he also has like the way Coleco died. He has like the system that killed it called the Atom system. And what it was like this add-on thing to the ColecoVision, but it came with like a printer and like a tape deck, like a cassette tape thing, and a keyboard. And I guess that thing was sold so bad, and it was so like it just didn't work at all that it pretty much toppled the company.
Yeah.
And he has like all these sealed like Atom games, and
I wonder what's worth more, ColecoVision sealed games or Atom sealed games.
I don't
Just 'cause
know.
of the
It's
rarity.
hard. It's hard to see because like a lot of people on eBay, we were trying to get like a gauge of where to price them, but a lot of the stuff hasn't sold.
Yeah.
But some people were
That,
selling them high or low.
That list that I sent to you guys was pretty legit because it pulled it from like a bunch of different sites.
Yeah.
It wasn't like somebody just saying what they were. It actually pulled them from a bunch of different sites. So you guys should run through that list. I'm sure Jay forgot about it already. Yeah, that's really cool though. It's so cool to have like I bet you Jay has one of the top 100 ColecoVision
pretty-
collections. I mean, because most of it's sealed.
I've
That's
never
crazy.
been around like a video game collection like that. Like
Yeah.
that's like history, and like they're
And like the guy said, the historian on Twitter, he was like, "Holy shit, he's got like 5 sealed some
Yeah.
game. I don't remember what it was called, but
yeah, and like perfectly sealed.
and like the box is like the size of this laptop. That was another
Yeah.
weird thing about it.
And the boxes, they're not like watermarked or anything. It's like they sat in a box for the last 30 or 25 years.
Right.
Just
yeah, I think his grandfather was purposely collecting
Yeah.
them. You know what I mean? Like he had the foresight too.
And he's got like this Donkey Kong Jr. game for the Atom system still wrapped in plastic. Never been opened.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming he's just gonna sell all that stuff. Cause
Yeah,
he
I
doesn't
think
care
so.
Enough. I don't know why
Yeah.
he wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, and he just got a new house, so he just wants to
Right.
put money towards the house.
Yeah,
Stuff
he's
is
got
perfect
He's
investment.
got plenty of.
I was
memories of
telling
his
Jay, like,
grandfather.
even if these games are like one game is like $20, you have 7 copies of it sealed.
Right.
You know, like, you can even undercut people and sell for 15 and still make off.
Yeah.
He must have like, I would say like at least $1,000 worth of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if he could also put it all up for one price just to see, put a reserve on it just to see if somebody wants the whole kit and caboodle.
I imagine those Atom systems have to be worth some money.
You would think so. See, I could see it going both ways. I could see it being like super rare, so it's worth something. I could also see it being like E.T., where like they made $1 billion and they're just everywhere still.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I don't think the Atom sold that well at all.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Though, like maybe they made a bunch, but they didn't sell well. But I bet you they're pretty rare.
And the
How about this? I've heard of it. I've seen it on the internet, but I've never actually seen one in person before.
The ColecoVision, he still has like the papers for it, and it gives like what number produced it was. He's
Oh,
got
that's
like
cool.
the tag for it. It's cool. And the best, like, I really didn't know what the Atom system was until I like Googled it and watched some YouTube videos on it. Apparently, the greatest feature about that was if you put the tape next to it when you booted it on, it set out like this electromagnetic surge or spark, and it erased all the information on the cassettes.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was one that it had like something like a 55 or 60% fail rate.
That's new school.
That was
Or old school, I mean.
system. Like people complain about video games now.
Well, it's funny.
Can you imagine having like a 50-50 shot?
Right. Well, it's funny because back then I think stuff was more reliable,
Yeah.
Cartridges and stuff like that. Like I had my Super Nintendo, probably, if I still had it, it would probably still work,
Yeah.
But that's you can't have a 10% fail rate and survive.
Yeah, it's crazy. And the thing was $800 for it was an add-on to the ColecoVision.
That's crazy.
It wasn't even like a standalone system.
Yeah, so the ColecoVision must have done well enough for them to release something that adds on to it. I'm telling you though, like the ColecoVision was where you went to play like arcade type games. Like there were so many great like space shooters and stuff. Me and Joe used to have so much fun playing that thing. We should go over there and play it sometime.
We should.
Can we Twitch it? We'd have to get an adapter, obviously.
Yeah, I would say it's probably easier just to like emulate it.
Yeah, that's true, I guess.
But
it's not the same though.
No, it's not. And he's got
you know what we could do is we could just Twitch or we could just YouTube a video of us playing and try to get a really good angle on it.
He's also got like since he has like all these, he's got like hundreds of manuals for these games. Like without he doesn't have.
I gotta tell you, I missed the manual. I thought it was so cool.
Dude, some of these manuals are awesome. You should see this Dragon Lairs game menu. It's like a fantasy book. It's so big.
Dude, the first thing I used to do when I used to get games, one of my favorite memories was I would come home, take the instruction manual out, immediately take a dump and read the thing.
Yeah.
I remember, what were the cool ones? Skyrim had or not Skyrim. What was the Mist? Second Mist or whatever.
I don't even know.
Riven had like an awesome thing, and then there's so many ones that had like legit backstories of like multiple chapters.
I used to just on the ride to church in the morning, I used to just grab all the manuals out of my game boxes as I would read on the way to church, and then I would just like slide them into a Bible, and I'd be sitting there like reading about like Legend of Zelda and shit like that.
I know, it was so good. Like it probably wouldn't do what it did for us back then, but it was so fun back
I used to
then.
remember getting so pissed when some of them were like 3 pages long.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck?
That's such like The Witcher 3 is so genius for doing that. Like it probably cost them nothing to do that. Just do it. You know, like it probably cost them I don't know, $2,000 of R&D. You maybe probably more than that. Probably $10,000 of R&D of like somebody to make the images and all that stuff. But you're basically using existing assets, and then you just have to print the paper, which cannot be that much.
And a lot of that ColecoVision or the Coleco stuff he has, you could tell like they were in like a high streak where they were just throwing money into it. Like it's kind of like how like Atari fell. Like they had so much money they never even thought like the train would stop.
Right.
Some of these like game manuals, they're like hand drawn like art. It's not like some of the old Nintendos where they just pulled like the art and just copied and pasted in there.
Right.
It's like hand drawn art into the thing. They're thick. They're nice paper. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's very cool.
It is really cool.
Yeah, I think Jay's gonna have to. If you guys are interested in buying some ColecoVision games, let us know.
Yeah,
systems.
I tweeted out a picture. It's on our.
I think the worst thing he could probably do is go to the local store.
I told him not to. I told him like I said you can maybe go talk to him, see if he knows anybody that like buys and sells older games, but because the guy around here he'd probably buy them, but he's just gonna put them on eBay anyways.
Yeah, he's gonna undercut them big time.
Yeah,
I think it's worth. I bet you he'll get literally twice as much if he does his research. If he was gonna get 10% more, I'd say just sell him to the fucking guy. Yeah. But if he's gonna get twice as much,
I told him I think he's got like over $1,000 for stuff, but it's not. I told him is like it's probably gonna be a slow burn. Yeah. It's not gonna be like overnight.
Oh yeah, I think he has all of $1,000 worth of stuff.
Even it's nice.
Yeah, I mean, just the systems alone, you know.
He's got the box for his ColecoVision is a little beat up, but he still has the box for it.
Right, which there can't be a ton of those, and it's unopened, correct?
No, I don't. Not that one, unless he has more ColecoVisions.
Yeah, because I thought he said he had multiple ones.
I think he has unopened Atoms, but I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I don't even know at the time.
I'm gonna live eBay an unopened Atom right now, so you can tell us more about what you've been playing.
Oh, I've been playing that PlayStation Now free or PlayStation. What the hell's it called? Plus? Yeah, PlayStation Plus free game, Rocket League. And if you don't know what Rocket League is, it's like you're an RC car.
I would love to play that, but I've heard that it is the netcode. It kind of stinks now.
I think that's just that happens a lot on PlayStation. So it does,
not that. But I've heard that like playing 4 players on a couch is like the fucking most fun ever.
Yeah, how would that work? Split screen it?
4-player split screen.
Okay, yeah, I've definitely tried it, dude. It's fucking.
There's an Atom on here for $476 now. That I don't think there's any bids, so that doesn't really mean shit.
That's what that's telling.
But the fact that it's in that vicinity tells me that it's definitely multiple of hundreds of dollars. I don't think.
And apparently, like that system was so flawed. Like if you didn't have the printer, you couldn't use the system because the power for the console was on the back of the printer, which made a lot of sense. And I guess some of the connecting cords were like phone cables.
And by this way, this one's not unopened.
Oh wow.
But again,
I mean. if you're a video game collector, I think the Atom would be a huge piece for an old console, because not a lot of people know what it is. It was part of a huge system, and it killed a system. I think anything that kills something could be worth some money someday.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. It's one of those things. It's like you're not buying any of these really to play them. I mean, you can, but it is a huge part of history.
Yeah, and if you're gonna play the Atom, you have to like YouTube it on how to operate it, because you'll erase your games.
Yeah,
it's so funny. Like, how the hell did they not notice that was happening?
That is really amazing.
But anyways, back to Rocket League. Rocket League is like an RC game, soccer, or like you're an RC car and driving around. Like, well, maybe you're not an RC car, but the arena's so big you look like a little tiny car, and the soccer ball is huge. You pretty much just drive around a car.
It's like RC cars with a beach ball.
Yeah, and you can jump around. You can do crazy tricks, and you can crash into each other.
Cool. I love how like you can do like a backflip and shoot it.
Yeah, you can do like a bicycle kick kind of thing. You can do like kind of like outside benders, inside benders. There's a way to like spin your car, and yeah, it's like I think it's up to 4-on-4.
Yeah, it looks very cool. I'll definitely.
It's really fun. It's really fucking hard. The controls are, because it's pretty complicated. Like, you think it's just as easy as pushing a ball forward,
right?
But it's not. There's tricks people can do to flick the ball up. You can fly your car up and like smash the ball down.
Flick it up and do like a bicycle kick.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that. The computer is pretty shitty on it, so I usually just pin it in a corner and just push it in there and just try to.
Right.
It's the way I play is not very good. But it's really fun. If you have a PlayStation and PlayStation Plus, definitely get it.
Speaking of sales, before we get away from this, Tomb Raider, I know you want to mention that.
Oh yeah, Tomb Raider. It's $9 right now on the Xbox Live Store.
I think that's going on sale on the Amazon Prime, but there's no way it's going to be cheaper than that. I wouldn't think so.
What is that Xbox sale called? Summer sales? Summer deals?
I don't know.
It's been going on for like a week.
Yeah, they have some sort of.
It's awesome. Like, I haven't really picked up anything because I'm trying not to. I have so many games that I haven't finished. I thought about playing or buying Mortal Kombat, but I just didn't pull the trigger.
What's the price now?
I think it's 44.
44, yeah.
Which I said before was like my sweet spot.
It'll get to 40, I bet. You might want to check it out if it's on Amazon Prime.
I think Troutman said CD Keys lowered it to match the summer deal.
Yeah, because I saw when I got mine, where did I get mine now? Yeah, I got mine from Amazon, and it was 40.
That's a good deal.
So I don't know if it's still that, because they had this weird thing where they had it on Walmart and Target online for 40, but I went there and they didn't have it. So it was an online only sale, which is so stupid. It was 60 there.
You can't order online and have it.
I thought if you could do that or not, but you have to literally do the delivery. So they told me like that it wouldn't be there that day. So it's like just to prevent people from doing exactly that. And I was like, it's all part of your inventory. This doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, they have to have like a global inventory, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Or is it? They're not franchises.
Maybe they do that such that some competitive thing with the brick and mortars. I don't know. It was really weird though. I was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna go order it on Amazon then. Yeah. Thanks a lot.
What else would I say? Yeah, I don't know. Rocket League. TD Sprouse told me to try it, and I was gonna plan to try it. I just never got around to do it. But it's really fun. I wonder if we could play with. Can me and you be on the same team from different?
I believe so. I think I read that.
I just haven't fucked around with it because I've heard awful horror stories about how bad the online was.
It's not like IDARB.
Yeah.
Which is the worst. By the way, if they fix that,
IDARB?
That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? If we could all play online together now.
I don't know. I think we'd be any good. So.
Yes.
Yeah. I was gonna say yeah too.
100%. But I wonder if they ever fix that or if it was just too hard.
I don't know.
It's such a twitchy game.
God, that game is good.
It's one of my favorite games of the last 5 years.
Did that come out this year or last year?
I don't know. I want to say...
It was probably last year.
I want to say last year.
God, that game's good. So funny.
I could play that anytime still. It was so much fun.
Rocket League might be up there for us. It's really fun.
I'll definitely play it, but I can't see it being better than IDARB.
Oh, no. I mean, fun.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be better. Problem is it's hard, and I imagine people it's a game that you have to play constantly online to keep up with people. Cause...
Speaking of which... when I was at Chad's last weekend, for an hour we played Master Chief Collection, which was fun. But that just reminded me we should definitely play Griffball sometime. It's the best.
Is it on there?
Ever. I don't know. We have to check again.
Yeah, we gotta
it
find
seems
it.
like it goes.
Yeah,
on
I've had it ever since E3. I've had an itch to play Halo.
It worked way better. I was terrible, but it worked way better.
I really want to play some Halo.
Yeah, we should.
Also, I bought The Long Dark. I was twitching it the other day, and I only had like 35 minutes left in the preview thing. What is that?
How does that work? Oh, is that an Xbox game?
Yeah, it's an early access Xbox game. It was $30. Right now it's $20. I don't know if it's part of the sale or they just weren't selling it and maybe knocked it down a couple bucks.
That must be what happened. Yeah.
Yeah. So I bought that because I really kind of like it. Like, it's not the prettiest game, but I've always watched like
what game is that again?
The Long Dark. It's like the premise is you're just alone in the woods and you got to scrounge around for supplies and try to stay as long.
Wait a second. Do I own that game?
You try to stay alive for as long as you can. It was like a Steam early access game they brought over to Xbox One.
It gets a 10 on Steam, which is crazy.
It's really good.
I always think of always don't starve.
Yeah, Don't Starve.
Is that like a similar idea? It's like you have to survive in the woods.
Yeah,
getting supplies. I thought Don't Starve was really cool.
But
This one looks like a much prettier version of Don't Starve.
It's got graphics. I wouldn't say it's the prettiest game. It's still
art style. Let me show you what Don't Starve looks like.
I know what that.
Yeah, it's ugly shit. Cool though, very cool graphics.
But what I liked about it, I want because it's like you start in the early access thing. The only thing you can do is start in like the sandbox mode, and they just throw you in a random spot, and you start. And you could be like middle of night, middle of blizzards. Could be like animals around you that can fuck you up, or you can start in a building and you just kind of pick your way through. I liked that about that until I started playing on Twitch, and people were starting to tell me where to go. Because it kind of ruined like the thing where I thought it was randomly generated every single time. So I was trying to like ignore the Twitchers too. Although I appreciate you guys for watching, because I didn't want them to tell me. I wanted to figure it out for myself. And the farthest I've ever gotten is like a day, 2 days maybe.
Yeah.
Before something tragic happened to me.
Yeah.
Like
those games are like the type of game where you have to really. Oh my god, I can barely talk. Where you can like. If this is not leaving it all out in the field, by the way, I don't know what is. This is dedication to the podcast.
You're the man.
Jesus. What was I gonna say? Oh, those are the type of games where you have to get like wacky at some point to survive like crazy. Like you'll see some of like the Don't Starve. I don't ever seek this stuff out, but it'll always be like on Reddit Gaming, and I usually click every link when I go there every few days.
Yeah.
And like it'll be like a YouTube video of a guy that's Don't Starve, and it'll just be like he has like a city built. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like every time I have something good going, something fucking happens to me, and it fucks it up. I found this awesome building. Well, I didn't find it. I have no idea where it is on the map, but I started in this building. And had like all these supplies. I was living large, like I was comfortable.
Was the first place you were?
Yeah, I was staying warm, and like there were doors, so I kind of went out one door and like just wanted to see where I was in the map. Came back in. Next door, came back in. Door didn't have a doorknob on it, so I couldn't get back in. I was middle of the night with like not ready to be outside.
They definitely did that just to fuck you.
And I was like on top of a ledge. I had nowhere to go, and so my guy started freezing. So I started building a fire. And my guy was tired, so I put him to bed. I put like 2 fires around me, and I froze to death at night because I didn't have enough supplies to keep a fire going.
That's really funny.
I survived like 16 hours, and I had such good supplies.
I would have loved to see that, just to see if there's anything you could have done about that to survive.
I think
they were just totally messing with
people.
you.
People on Twitch said I should have built like a bigger fire.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
What would you do the next day if you were on a ledge?
I don't know. Maybe try to. It was so dark because I didn't have a flashlight or anything.
So like maybe
I couldn't see
maybe
shit.
You could get in the window or something. Who knows?
I don't know. Maybe climb down somewhere. Also, there's like a run button, but you have to be careful because you can trip and fall and like sprain your ankle or break your arm. So you can't run downstairs. You gotta be. It's really fun.
That sounds annoying, but funny.
Yeah, and the last thing I'll say, like, because I don't want to ruin it, but you guys should check it out. I was back in that building because I spawned like right next to it my last time playing, and I gathered all the supplies I found before, and then I was like, wait till morning, and I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna search the area. So I went out there, took a couple steps, I found a dead deer, and I was like, sweet, I got meat and stuff. And there's a way to like you can cure meat, like dry it out, so you can do other stuff with it, like you can build like traps or I don't know, like armor or arrows or something with it. But the thing is, you gotta lay it on a dry spot in the floor. So I went back in the building, put the guts down. I left. I walked like 5 minutes, and all of a sudden a blizzard came. Could barely see in front of me. I finally I was like, fuck this. I got to turn around and go back. I came back, and I opened up the door, and I hear like like walking. I was like, what the fuck is that? A fucking wolf got in the building. I don't know if it's because he knew he could smell the meat or something like that.
I'm sure that's what
Dude,
it
it
was.
fucked me up so fast, and I had the best run I've ever had. Like it was like 21.
How long does it take to get to like 2 days in that game? Like in our
Well, you
time?
can sleep and stuff, but the more you sleep, like you can burn off calories, and if you don't have food or water,
Or
you
like
can,
approximately a 2 hour run or a 2 day run.
I don't know, an hour, less than an hour.
Okay, yeah.
Because you can,
That
I mean,
is
you
good,
can
though,
you can
because
sleep and burn time. You can do
One of
other
my
things.
problems with Don't Starve is that it was a little too easy to get to a certain point. At least I thought. But the problem with that, and I thought that game was great. I'm not shitting on that game, but the problem with that is that it was like I'd play like an hour and a half session and then be like, do I really want to do that again? You know what I mean? It's like it's hard because you're starting completely over again.
Yeah, I think that's where the putting you in random spots make me want to play a little more. Because
Right.
if they would have put me in the I think it was like a dam, that's the building, and I had to go back through every single room, pick up all those objects. Like
Well,
it's
that's the
great
thing.
having all those items,
Yeah.
but doing it like for like a half an hour
Right.
every single time
Well,
is
that's
kind
the
of
thing with Don't
obnoxious.
Starve is that it's like just a 2D plane. So there's like there's not that much exploration to do. Like you do find some cool stuff, but it's much cooler to like find a building that you can actually go inside of than
There's definitely a lot of exploration in The Long Dark, and it's scary. It's like really like they wanted to get that like you're like all alone, and they really do that solitary feel really well, and it's fun. I like it.
So, have you looked at the list of Xbox 360 throwback games? Is there any that we need to get? Because I haven't really looked at it yet.
You mean like backwards compatibility?
Backwards
Did you ever get the
compatibility,
invite? Yeah, you did. Did you
Yeah,
sign
yeah,
up for
I
it and
have.
you're all
Yeah,
set?
I don't have any games
You didn't
because
have any games
I
either?
switched my
That's right.
account, so I probably have several. But
You know, I was thinking of the other day after playing like Geometry Wars Retro Evolved. I think it's the second one, and then Geometry Wars Retro Evolved 2 is like I don't know, it's all screwed up. But I would really like the Retro Evolved 2 because that game is so good.
I
And-
as the
and I want
Giant Bomb
Shadow
talked
Complex.
about, and as I saw already on I said it before I heard of the Giant Bombcast though, is Burnout Paradise would be so sick. I
Yeah.
would love to play that game.
Pro tip: I guess they're gonna bring it. Maybe they're gonna bring it.
They said, yeah.
They said that I think Jeff said the game's like $3.70 on the
That's
Xbox.
right. I saw that.
I tried to buy it from the Xbox 360 app. You can't use that app like you can use the Xbox One app.
So you'd have to have a 360. Oh, no,
Yeah.
I bet you.
I bet
But I bet you could go on the
Yeah.
Xbox Live.
I just haven't. That seems
Yeah.
like
I
it was
think
like one of those things where I was gonna do it right there, and then like they told me I couldn't do it, and I was like, yeah, fuck it.
I think I have.
I used to have a
Burnout
copy of
Paradise
that.
disc. That being said, if I can get it, it just depends how easy it is for me to buy for $3. If it's
Yeah.
a pain in the ass, I'm not going to do it.
That game is one of my favorite games for that last generation.
It's great. It's too bad that it removed the awesome crash mode that the
You
previous
could-
one had.
yeah.
But
You
the
could
racing
kind of-
is way better.
And you could kind of destroy things.
Yeah, but that
and, like,
that
crash yourself.
mode was so sick.
It was
though.
good.
It was like you would be flipping through cards. You can actually adjust your car to create the largest
Yeah.
traffic.
I
thought
would-
that was so. I couldn't believe they removed that. That being said, I think they put all those resources.
I would like to
into
know
the
if-
racing, which was awesome.
If they're gonna do like, you know how you could download Xbox One games for your or the original Xbox games for your 360.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had both Max Paynes, and I had the good Burnout. I think it was Burnout 3.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the one that's a good one, right?
You mean Paradise? Or
No,
you mean
like
the other one.
the good one with the crash mode and
Oh yeah, I think that's 3. Yeah.
I had that. So I wonder if those games will ever be available for me because they were digital downloads.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question.
I don't know either.
Emulating the emulator.
Yeah, was
guess
that
it
how
depends on
how
how
they
it
did it
works.
before? Was the Xbox 360 just straight up? Was it just able to play those games?
I think they made it from the ground up to be able to play, so it's possible. I'm not really sure.
So I would love to. But the
But
answer,
they probably have to get them approved. So
I would.
they definitely would have to get them approved. So I don't know if they'd even bother. you
I
know?
really want Shadow Complex.
Yeah, that would be neat.
I'm trying to think of what good games I liked on Xbox 360 store. Maybe
Yeah, I mean-
Uno. Uno was really fun.
Yeah, the Uno is fun. I mean, I've already played the shit out of Braid. I don't want to play that again. I don't know. I can't really remember right now.
I just don't remember
There's
what I-
definitely something. Oh, the game that I would get my most anticipated game would be NBA Jam.
Oh yeah, that was so good.
It was one of the best
Makes-
games. That was everything. That was the opposite of Tony Hawk HD. Tony Hawk HD was the biggest piece of shit game I've
Yeah.
ever played, and NBA Jam was fucking awesome.
It was really good. I love the
online.
faces they used to make when they were dunking. How they like stare at the camera and just like their mouth was wide open and stuff.
It was basically just the Dreamcast version, but updated. Like
yeah,
that.
it was so good.
That God, I hope they release that.
Oh,
they just won't though, because they'll probably want to release like a newer version.
And I would love, since there's no more boxing games, I love Fight Night Round 3.
That would be cool. Yeah.
That was one of my all-time favorite games.
Yeah. What else is out there?
I'm trying to think. It's tough. Like that generation lasted so long, and there were so many games.
There's so many games that like it's so like. So there's games like Metal Gear Solid 4 that are kind of like games that people think of as like all-time great games, and there's not a ton of those from that generation, but there's like a shitload of like really good games.
Like I feel like I should play I feel like I should play the Mass Effect games.
I know you would love those. I'm sure that's right up your alley.
Oh,
can't you get the remastered, or aren't they doing that, or is that?
I don't know what the deal is.
Rumored? Yeah.
I know Mass Effect 1 is available for backwards compatibility right now.
Yeah, maybe not.
I want Dead Space, the Dead Space things back. Dead Space 2 is one of my all-time favorite games. I never played the third one because it got reviewed so poorly. But if I can find it for like $10 on the Xbox 360 store, and they ever like made it backwards compatible, I would like to try that out.
Did you ever hear, or do you know what Dishonored is? That game?
I played like half Dishonored and said, I don't see it. I don't
really
get
care
it
about that game at all. But there's this guy on YouTube who does Dishonored videos.
Yeah.
And he's like the best Dishonored player in the world, and he does these videos where he will kill like 12 people at the same time. They're like you don't even have to understand the game to see how ridiculous this person is. He'll like throw shit in the air. So like he just does like a montage of all of his kills. It's so cool.
There was nothing. I thought that game was cool, but I'm just not in stealth games, and that was just too much.
Yeah, I'm surprised you don't like that game though, just because there's so many cool like combo type.
I must have played a good like 7-8 hours of it.
Yeah, you should watch those videos. I bet you it'll make you want to go back and play, because he's not really stealth at all.
Yeah,
he will, once he gets like all of his powers. That's probably part of it. Is like he will jump from roof to roof, teleport, slash one guy, pull him off or out of a window while he's slashing another guy's throat, teleport up, stab the guy coming down. It's like he just kills like 8 guys in a row. Like,
yeah,
like that. It's
I probably should have given that game a better chance, but I don't know. I think something else. There's probably a Call of Duty game that came out around it.
It looked cool. I never really had an interest in playing it. But.
Also, I wanted to make a retraction on something I've said. I don't think Arkham Knight is better than Arkham City.
Interesting.
After like digesting it for a while, I don't think it's a better game. I think it's actually not. My problem with Arkham Asylum, I think it's a very good game. I didn't like how it was so like tight and corridored off. I felt like I didn't like the backtracking you constantly had to do to get to one section.
That was my biggest problem with that game. That was the only one that I played. That was the first one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But after like thinking about, I fucking hate the Batmobile. Some of the side missions were stupid. I hated what they did with some of the bosses. Like that game. You ever have that with a game? Like you really enjoy. Like there's parts about it I really like. I think it's an awesome game, but like after sitting there and thinking about it, I was like, and then like hearing other podcasts like talk about it, I was like, yeah, I agree with that. And, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's hard to.
But I am excited for Batgirl DLC that comes out yesterday.
Yeah, I think it's hard to discern too, because like sometimes like what's more important though, the immediate enjoyment of the game or kind of the artistic look back at it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where you really enjoyed it while you were playing it. So
yeah,
you know what I mean. But that does happen when you look back on a game and go, man, that game wasn't really that great.
I would highly recommend it. I think it's a good Batman game. It's just there was just things in it. It's like, why the fuck? Like they made one of my all-time favorite games. Like, why the fuck are they doing that? And then like some of the podcasts I listen to of like professional like journalists. Some of them are suggesting the idea that maybe they didn't want to make that game, so they kind of just like halfway through it, they're like, "Fuck it, we don't care," like because there's some. It's just it gets to the point sometimes where it's not a Batman game.
Yeah, but you said it had a really good story.
It did have a really good story.
I don't think you put the work into a story unless you really care about the game.
But then there's
you know what I mean.
Yeah, it was
the hardest thing to do. So
yeah, but the side stuff sucked.
Yeah.
It was like some of it I liked, but then like I don't know, just digesting it is like so it's not better than Arkham City. So I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry, Batman.
Yeah, that's I'm gonna edit that part out of the podcast. Yeah. We don't do corrections.
Just
here.
Keep on editing. It's me saying Arkham Knight's better than Arkham City.
All right, let's get to the meat of the podcast. Which by meat I mean I don't know how long are we into this? Just
minus like 3 minutes off of that. 37.
Okay.
33.
So Comic-Con just happened.
Comic-Con.
That was San Diego Comic-Con, right? The big one.
Yeah, the big one.
And before we get into these trailers, so every time there's trailers there, they leak, obviously, because someone takes a selfie.
This one was, I feel like this year had more leaks. I mean, obviously that problem's going to grow and grow.
But then everybody freaks out because, like, I understand they want to give a first look to people at Comic-Con.
Yeah, it makes it worth going
there,
yeah.
Absolutely. But at the same time, it's like, stop caving and releasing the HD trailers, because guess what? Like, the Suicide Squad.
Don't talk like that.
No, but what I'm saying is, instead of like being like, oh, what are we gonna do? I guess we'll just have. But like, if you really care about giving them the experience, just don't release the HD trailer for 2 weeks, because like the Suicide Squad trailer was unwatchable. There was no need to release that HD trailer if they didn't want to. Is what I'm saying. You know, they like caved to public pressure, but it's like. That was an unwatchable trailer.
Well, it's funny, and
the
like
quality was so bad.
In that leaked trailer, the director, he makes jokes about how everything they've been doing is getting leaked. So he's like, "Oh, I found this thing on the internet. I thought I would show you guys." And then they just throw it out there anyways after it got leaked.
It is. You know what they should do too is that they should show it like E3 when they do release it, and they should show the Comic-Con event. Because it's really cool when like they're showing. I mean, they obviously should release the regular trailer too, but it's really cool when they show the Joker and everyone goes nuts. It's I've never seen that in like a comic or like a movie situation, because that's like an E3 thing, where they announce Final Fantasy VII and everyone goes nuts.
And sometimes they do give them an extra clip, like people don't have quick enough time. Like they'll show like 30 seconds of like a character.
What they did too is
people don't have time.
What they did with the World of Warcraft trailer.
No.
They had like 3 screens, so it'd be impossible to leak.
Oh, okay.
So like it wouldn't even work on a normal television. So it was like, I guess it was like a wraparound 270 and like split up.
That's cool.
I don't think they did it for piracy purposes, but it just worked out that way.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen or even heard of
nothing. I saw one screenshot. I'm sure it's gonna suck, but I'll probably see it. Probably not in theaters, but
it looks pretty cool. Like not the trailer, I haven't seen that, but the art in the character looks pretty badass.
And that's what I'm hoping, because those games have some of the best art ever.
And I'm a sucker for fantasy.
Yeah, I will definitely see it regardless, but I don't know about the theaters. If it gets good reviews, I'll see it in the theaters probably, maybe.
So, want to talk some trailers?
Yeah.
We'll go. You want to start with Suicide Squad since we're right there? Anyways?
Sure.
Does this mean anything to you?
My thoughts on Suicide Squad: I think the movie looks mediocre as hell. I thought Jared Leto's Joker looked awesome.
Yeah, I thought it looked really cool. Like you were kind of defender of it. Say, let me see it in motion.
Yeah, and like he delivers that line so badass.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it's like you can't have them just do the Heath Ledger. Like the Heath Ledger Joker was amazing, and I think that's kind of everyone's favorite version of the Joker is Heath Ledger's Joker in like the comic books. But how lame would it be if they just did another Heath Ledger Joker? So I think they took it a really weird way, and I think that's cool. But the rest of the movie looked highly mediocre.
I'm a DC fanboy, so I'll disagree with that. But remember the original?
I hope I'm wrong. I don't know that it's gonna suck. My problem is there's too many characters, and like the only ones that I'm really interested in are the Joker and Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
And maybe is there anybody else in there?
Killer Croc looks cool.
He actually did look pretty cool.
They did a good job.
Deadpool.
Deadpool.
Or Will Smith.
Deadshot.
Deadshot.
But what was I gonna say? Oh, the Joker thing. Did he used to have a tear on his eye, or was it always a J? Did they change that? Remember that picture they released?
Oh, I don't know.
For some reason, I was thinking it was a tear, but they changed that where you usually have a tear for like prison time. It was a J. The teeth. I'm gonna have to get used to it. Didn't bother me as much as I thought. It's just strange to see.
But he looked fucking insane.
Yeah.
And the way he delivers that line is so badass. That guy's just the man. I hope it's good. That's a hard story to tell.
I love the one scene where they're like robbing a place and shooting up a place, and the guy's wearing a Batman mask. Yeah. I thought that was so cool.
And then the panda suit.
Yeah.
And I like too that it was extremely violent, because that's what that movie has to be. Like someone was just walking through a store, just shooting everyone.
My thoughts are like I didn't want Will Smith in this movie, because I don't really like Will Smith, but I kind of understand why he's in there, because Deadshot, like his story is he does this stuff for his daughter,
right? And
I think Will Smith is a really good fit to show like character with depth and emotion, because in the trailers you could see like him with his daughter. Mm-hmm. You can see like he doesn't necessarily look like the awful person he's supposed to be.
By the way, how far has his career fallen off? He would have never done a movie where he was the fourth star. Like I saw an article about it like a year ago. He used to be every movie was #1 at the box office,
Yeah.
and he hasn't had that in a long time. But anyway, he's still a great actor.
But I'm not with you. I think I thought the trailer was cool.
Yeah,
I don't think it's gonna
know.
be the greatest movie of all time,
I don't think it's gonna suck. I had hopes that it could be great, and I don't know. You know what my
it's gonna be a hard sell.
You know what my main problem with it is? I don't like the overall like cinematography. Like it looked just like really dark. Not dark as in mood, but just like literally dark.
Problem is I don't think I've seen a movie by David Ayers.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's a teaser. This is like what the first Batman Superman trailer was. It didn't really show anything.
No.
If you look at all those clips, the only real reveal was the Joker.
Yeah. And people got to remember, this isn't like Joker's not in the Suicide Squad. I don't know if they changed it for this, but like I think this is their way of introducing Joker back into the world.
No, I get
and
the
there's a good chance
he
might be the guy they're going after.
Yeah, I get the feeling that he's not in the Suicide Squad.
Because people are like bitching like, oh, they wouldn't show Joker in the Suicide Squad to the last like 10 seconds of the thing. It's like, well, he's probably not in the Suicide Squad. They're probably showing like in a lot of movie trailers they do show the villain occasionally. Like they didn't show.
I think it told a lot with the fact that they said, these are the guys, blah 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 blah, and they showed every single person in the Suicide Squad, and then
they didn't
at the end of the trailer they showed and then after they did that, there was some stuff shown, and then they showed the Joker. So yeah, either they're going after him, or maybe he's trying to play the other side of them, or something. Something.
And it was cool to see Batman in the trailer too.
Yes, it was. I will see that movie just for.
It's gonna as big of a Joker fan you are. I don't think we're gonna be disappointed.
I was so happy when I saw that. I just feel like people are so close-minded. People saw that and were like, "That doesn't look like Heath Ledger's Joker."
Yeah.
It's just like,
that's fine.
Yeah, like I think that would be lame. You have to take risks.
I'll be really interested. Hopefully the chemistry between Harley Quinn and him is good.
I bet it'll be good.
The only thing that bothered me in the whole trailer, I know, besides like Will Smith and shit, the insurance line. Wasn't that from like
I don't remember
when she's riding in like Joker's Lamborghini and Batman's on top? She said something like, "I hope you have insurance on this." I think it was Batman Returns or what was the Batman Forever? I think somebody I think like Drew Barrymore or somebody makes that same line. I don't know if they're like making fun of the old Batman movies or something. Somebody look it up for us.
I feel like that line might not end up in the movie anyway.
Yeah.
It could be one of those things.
I don't know.
I thought Harley Quinn actually looked really cool though. I was a little bit worried that she might not be able to play.
I'm not sold on the voice. Like I didn't want the obnoxious voice, but I wanted a little more to it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But it's still early.
Where the Joker's voice was awesome.
Dude, and he's creepy as hell.
He is so creepy. That guy's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Let's just get X-Men out of the way because I didn't watch it.
I watched the leak.
Yeah.
Was there a full one?
I'm not sure if it's even been released yet.
It looked, I don't know.
I just don't care about this movie.
I really liked. You need to watch Days of Future.
Yeah,
did you like it?
I liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was because I wasn't a fan of First Class.
Yeah, I wasn't either. I don't know. I can't get amped up for the live action X-Men movies.
Yeah.
I don't know why. And I was a massive X-Men fan.
The problem with this one is X-Men 3 sucked because they put 30,000 X-Men in it.
Right.
Seems like this is an awfully large cast. They showed like a cast photo from their panel, and there was like 60 people on the fucking stage.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it before. I'll say it again. I would be much more excited about like a 3D animation X-Men, like a Pixar X-Men, than I am a live action. It's just weird to me.
I like Apocalypse. He's one of my favorite like all-time bad guys. Mm-hmm. And it'll probably introduce my favorite X-Men of all time, Archangel. Like I like Angel and Archangel equally. But I don't. Do
you remember the way to kill Apocalypse?
I do not.
Well, unless this was just how comics.
I remember in the cartoon when they fought him, but I
think it was a comic that I read. But again, this could be just like one story arc. There was a spot in the back of his neck where you had to.
Okay, I think I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why. I remember reading a comic on my bed and seeing that, and I thought it was the weirdest thing ever.
I just want to see Warren.
Because it was always Archangel that was like.
Yeah, he was.
Archangel.
He was one of the Seven Horsemen.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because like Warren Warrington, he like dies as Angel and then he gets brought back.
It's so crazy how I can remember that, and like
he was such a
badass. I haven't read that stuff since I was.
That X-Men animated series was so good.
It really was.
The depth of like stories they did, like the Archangel stuff was so good.
Speaking of which, That hilarious video with the He-Man thing that I've watched.
Oh, I
50
forgot
times.
to come home and watch the
you
whole
gotta
thing.
wa-
I
you gotta
watched like
watch
the
that.
first like minute
You
and a
gotta
half.
watch the whole thing. It's worth it. But that makes me want to watch He-Man. The animation on that show was so cool.
Do you think He-Man holds up?
No, probably not. But I don't know.
I don't know either.
I think the animation would, because it's kind of like that Disney animation where it doesn't really.
Was He-Man one of those shows that the show was created to sell the toy?
I know absolutely nothing about it.
Because G.I. Joe and I think Transformers, the toys were created first, and then they created the show to sell the toys.
I don't know, but the show was massively popular, so I think
He-Man?
it was high quality. Yeah, like I mean, when you ask, like for us, like X-Men was our favorite
X-
cartoon.
I
For
would think I would put Batman anime series over it.
I don't think you would have said that when you were a kid.
I think I don't know, man.
I don't know.
It was close.
I feel like you always were an X-Men fan when you were a kid,
probably.
much more than Batman. But either way, what kids that are older than us, like my brother Joe, all of them are He-Man.
Yeah,
you know. That's like their
Yeah,
X-Men or Ninja Turtles too.
You might be
whatever.
right on the X-Men thing. That cartoon was just so good,
Awesome.
well done.
I used to wake up. Was it Saturday morning cartoons?
Yeah, I think it was that Spider-Man and what else was on that block?
I don't know.
Spider-Man anime series was really good too.
Ninja Turtles was it?
I think that was a past their time. Yeah, I think
Ninja Turtles was so good.
maybe
too.
what was that Killer Tomatoes show?
I don't even remember.
What was that?
Holds up better, Ninja Turtles or X-Men?
X-Men, definitely.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen either since I was a kid.
Do you remember that one show with the sharks that wore rollerblades? What the fuck was the name of that show?
I know what you're talking about.
And there was what was it?
It's not even on the tip of my tongue though.
Biker Mice from Mars.
Oh yeah.
That may have been on that block.
Oh yeah, that was a great block.
Ghostbusters might have been on there.
I think of sitting on my couch, Indian style, with my cereal.
Yeah.
X-Men was the gem of that. Like,
Oh
that
my
was
God,
the one that
dude.
I didn't really care if I saw anything else but X-Men.
I don't know if
I love too. Like, this is a great part about animated series. They could have the Sentinels, which I think is one of the coolest parts of X-Men, and like actually have them be like 100 fucking feet tall or whatever they are. You know.
I think they did like a Days of Future. It may have been called Days of Future Past episode, and I've talked about it before on the show. It's one of the best like arcs I've ever seen. It's like when Wolverine and Storm have to go back, but Wolverine's finally happy because him and Storm are together, and they have to. If they go back, they know they'll never be together and shit. So they kind of go back. There's like so much drama, and then like, the Phoenix Saga. Oh my God, was that well done?
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, that was a good show.
It really was.
And I think
that's another show that I like to not watch all of it, obviously, but like watch a few episodes.
I went back and watched the whole thing like within the last 5 years. They had it on. I don't know if they have it on Netflix still, but they did have the whole series on Netflix.
Oh, that music still, I can still hear.
Oh yeah.
All right, so what do you want to talk next? Star Wars or?
We'll stay in the DC world.
Okay,
Just finish up.
so Batman vs Superman was the other trailer, which thank God they leaked the HD version because that was another.
I think they just released it.
Did they? Well,
Yeah.
I saw one of the leaks.
I think they
just did, they were like it leaked. Fuck it.
Yeah,
Let's release
it's up to like almost 30 million views on YouTube.
Yeah. Well, I thought the first trailer for this was very weak because
Yeah.
it was just a teaser trailer that didn't show shit. But this one was very cool.
It's really good.
I'm still nervous just because of the man who's directing it.
Yeah, I mean,
So I just hope that there's. I have a little bit of hope because there's Batman and Superman, and they need to tell both their stories, which means they're gonna have less time for crazy action scenes.
Yeah.
Now I'm all for crazy action scenes, but you have to have that story. And who's actually writing it with him?
the guy that wrote Argo.
Yeah, so he has like a super famous writer with him, and I'm hoping that helps too because that guy's just a visual special effects guy.
Well, the thing is with this movie, if this movie flops or if it's as good as Man of Steel, which I think Man of Steel is a good movie, I liked it. But if this movie does that, if it's only as good as Man of Steel, that DC whole block that they're trying to do is fucked.
Yeah,
it won't be good enough.
Yeah,
but God, Ben Affleck is such a badass Batman. Never thought I would say he looks perfect for that part.
Yeah, he looks.
And
cool.
to finally be able to see Batman and him in motion in the bat suit and stuff, like fighting people, God, it was good.
Yeah, it was very cool. I'm trying to think of what happened now.
The Joker part was my favorite part, where they show the Robin uniform with the Joker writing on it.
Joker writing.
They said, "Ha, the joke's on you." That's so cool.
Yeah, it was really neat. They showed a different. Did you see the picture of the different bat suit too?
No, I didn't. Is it the one where he's in the desert?
Maybe.
It's in the he's wearing two in the trailer.
Yeah.
One with like the goggles and shit.
Yeah. I thought that was really cool too.
Yeah, it's really good. And Wonder Woman looks so badass.
Yeah, well, I don't understand why she's in it because I don't know the story.
I don't know. I think they're just working on bringing in the Justice League.
Doesn't it seem like they're crowbarring her in?
Probably.
Yeah,
But
that'll be interesting.
she could also like she protects the Earth kind of deal, so she could be coming like trying to see what Superman's all about.
I think the hardest part of this is going to be obviously making it realistic that a god could fight a human and have it be a fair fight.
You need to read Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're gonna. I mean, I watched the Comic-Con panel and Zack Snyder said he's not. This isn't the Dark Knight Returns story. It's like he said there's some like homage to it, but it's not that. It's a different story. I don't know if I believe him. He might be lying, but I mean a lot of it just screams Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
But they do it clever in that, so
Yeah.
I think
does he work with Lex Luthor? Is that why he's in it?
oh.
Batman.
Oh, well. Also, they explain in the trailer, not in the trailer, the panel. Zack Snyder says like throughout like the DC world, it's always been like Metropolis is over here, Gotham's over here. In this world, they're like separated by a bay, so that's why Lex Luthor would be like that's how Bruce Wayne and Lex Luthor would know each other because they're like they probably do business together or they're competitors and shit like that.
Interesting. Yeah, I think that movie will be awesome if they put a ton of work into character development. Because like we know there's going to be big fight scenes and all that stuff, but that's not what makes those movies good.
It seemed darker, which I want from like that movie.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I mean, yeah, I don't think there's gonna be. I think they're gonna be very careful. Like I should careful of this because it didn't seem like they were being very careful with the destruction with the Wonder Woman thing. It looked like she was blowing shit up. But it kind of looked like it was a barren kind of area. But I was gonna say, the way like Superman's able to fight or Batman's able to fight Superman. Superman doesn't kill people. It's like a rule. Like he's kind of like Batman. So I mean, you could probably punch Superman in the face. He's not gonna do anything to you.
Right.
Too bad. So I don't know. I think it looks awesome. It's one of the best trailers I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I'm wary of any trailer these days because people are so good at making trailers now.
Yeah,
you know
I mean, yeah,
for like the shittiest movies now. But it did have a lot of what I'm looking for.
And let's be honest, Zack Snyder's never really made a great movie.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, 300 was cool.
I think Watchmen was his best movie.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Watchmen.
But I still wouldn't say it was great.
I didn't like Watchmen.
Visually, it was great.
He said 2 movies.
I'm sorry. No, I didn't mean. Or no, yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Watchmen. Yeah.
He said 2 movies I didn't like the first time I saw them. I wasn't sold on Man of Steel the first time I watched it. Then came back and I watched it again. I liked it better second time. And the Watchmen I hated the first time I watched it. And then I watched it later and I love that movie.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say he's made a great movie.
He has to.
I think if you go back and watch 300, that movie kind of sucks. It was visually amazing.
Cool. It's visually cool.
It was visually amazing, but like it is a bore fest once you've seen it once.
Yeah.
And you go back. It was visually incredible.
It's way better than the sequel, which he didn't really have anything to do with.
I never saw it because I knew it would blow.
I just know the pressure's on for like this is $1 billion movie. This movie will probably make $1 billion. But if it's not good,
yeah. But if it doesn't,
if it's like, I think it will. I mean, it's gonna make money. I mean, who doesn't want to see?
The shit out of it.
But if it's not good, DC's in trouble. This leads to everything else. And if they fuck this up,
because I mean, the problem with the DC universe is that their 3 biggest stars are Joker, Superman, and Batman, and 2 of them are in the same story arc. So it's like Marvel can go Spider-Man and X-Men and like Iron Man and Thor, and like they just have way more characters that they can jump back and forth between. Now DC has that, but not as commercially. You know what I'm saying?
And also, somebody on Twitter, I forget who it was, made a good point. DC can make good supervillain movies. Like the supervillains or the villains are always awesome, but they can't really nail the heroes. And Marvel can do the opposite.
Right.
So I mean, you can't. The Batman and Superman have to be great in this movie, and so does Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Well, and that Wonder Woman is gonna be key because obviously they're gonna try to make a Wonder Woman and stuff her in a bunch of different stuff. So if she just kind of falls flat, it's gonna be bad for
she
them.
definitely looked the part. Like everybody that was worried about because she didn't really have like the frame or whatever. I thought she looked just.
I hope that she doesn't take away from that. I hope they didn't say like, Zach, you have to put Wonder Woman into the story. I hope it's like a natural part of the story.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know anything about the story, so it could.
I mean, she could just be like a cameo. I mean, it's called Dawn of Justice, so this is leading into like a Justice League movie.
Right.
Actually, I'm kind of more interested to see because it also came out reported that Ben Affleck is going to write, direct, and star in a Batman film. So
interesting.
And he's like, say what you, like, he's kind of a goofball, or whatever, but he can direct.
Oh, his
and he
last
can act.
5 movies have been
unbelievable.
amazing,
Yeah. Gone Girl he was awesome. I don't know, was he just in it? I don't know if he directed that.
I think he might have.
Argo was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And he really, really looks like Bruce Wayne and Batman. He looks so good in that suit, and he looks so like that scene where that building's crashing and he's running into like the dust and stuff. It's so good.
Yeah, that was very cool.
I don't know. He's
that
a really
was ridiculous, that scene where the building just falls over.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm excited about that. Star Wars, last one. I thought this was an epic trailer because it showed nothing about the movie.
Yeah, it was just like a behind the
it
scenes
was
kind of
behind
thing.
the scenes.
Yeah.
I thought it was so cool though because you know how I've been harping for like 10 podcasts about how there's just too much CGI these days, and like some movies need to use it. Like Superman, you have to have CGI, obviously. But Nolan's Batmans, they used almost zero CGI because they used real explosions and real sets. And I used to see them in New York when I was living there. They block off whole streets. And for Star Wars, one of the magical parts about the original Star Wars was those miniatures and real sets and going to the fucking desert instead of putting a green screen. And when you watch those hilarious, what's the guy's name? The one that I sent you of like, he's like the fat serial killer who reviews movies.
Mr. Plinkett?
Yeah, Mr. Plinkett. He one of the things he harps on is the fact that like he basically just made these movies sitting with a coffee with a bunch of blue screens because he's so lazy. And it ruined the movies.
There were like rumors that he wasn't even on set sometimes.
Yeah, it was a joke. It was just a cash-in. So they've showed this, and like it was amazing. Like all of the costumes are real, all of the sets are real.
Yeah, it was cool.
And it was cool too because I don't want to know too much about it. So I'd rather see a 3-minute trailer of like.
I was actually kind of pissed when I knew it was gonna happen, but they showed like the main chick in the Millennium Falcon with Han Solo. Right. Like I felt like that was too much of a spoiler.
I know what
you're
saying. Yeah, that's one of my biggest problems these days is all these trailers tell too much. What was the one that was? Oh, people were really bitching about the Terminator one.
Oh yeah, when they showed like Arnold.
Or no, I think it was it that or was it that? What's the son's name or the? Whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyway, they showed like a huge plot.
Oh, did they? I didn't. I think I've seen like
a huge part of the plot in the trailer, and people were like, "What the fuck?"
That movie looked like it was shit, anyways.
Yeah, I didn't care about that movie,
performed that way. But yeah, like with Batman, you could show me just about everything because like I kind of know, you kind of get the gist of it. It's like that thing I was saying before, like a couple weeks ago. When you watch the Avengers, you know the Avengers aren't gonna die. Mm-hmm. I know Batman and Superman are gonna die in this movie, but the thing with Star Wars, I don't want to know anything.
Right, and this is a brand new story, so
and like I'm going in like I the only part of the world of Star Wars I know is from the 6 movies and some of the video games. I don't really know the lore, and I believe they cut out like all the canon that's not the movies when Disney bought them. Yeah, so they're like starting fresh.
I love when people say stuff like that, like, "Well, you should know that because of the book." I'm like, I didn't read the fucking book.
Yeah,
like they do that in video games too. Yeah. They didn't explain this part. Well, you should have read this book side story. It's like, nah, I shouldn't have to do that. But yeah, I thought that was awesome. A really good set of trailers from that Comic-Con.
Did you see the Deadpool one?
I saw animated GIF of it. That's about
it. It was good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's leaked. If you want to watch like a little 2x2 screen.
Yeah.
It looked funny and it looked gory, like Deadpool should be.
I can't get excited about that movie. I hope it's good, but I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care, but I'm happy for the Deadpool fans that got fucked in that Wolverine movie. Holy shit, was it Deadpool horrible in that fucking movie?
I hate when they do that. It's like when they threw in Venom and Spider-Man 3. It's like one of the greatest all-time villains, and just you know what's funny is I still haven't even seen that. I just heard it was horrible because I turned that movie off halfway through.
It's really bad.
What does he make an appearance as like fully Venom? Or
at the end. At the end it's Venom. There's like 6 fucking people fighting at the end
Why
over.
would they do that? Like,
because they wanted to sell toys or whatever.
Did they plan on making a 4th with Venom in it? Because they they ended the series at that point.
I think they just wanted to sell shit.
And why haven't they made a Spider-Man with Venom in it, or even more?
Probably because of
Carnage.
Probably what Topher Grace did to that fucking character. How I don't.
Right.
The stain is probably still there.
Yeah, that's just crazy. It's like that's like the second most popular villain, third most.
I mean,
popular
they should
villain
just
from
go.
that
They
shit.
should just go like dark, like DC Dark for one movie because they're not a part of the Marvel. Well, actually, Spider-Man's kind of back in the Marvel universe,
apparently
but
they're gonna do
but
that.
they could have went like a Dark Knight
Yeah.
with Carnage.
That'd be so sick. I've said this to you before. I think they should just do a Carnage movie.
Yeah.
It'd be so awesome. They'll never do it though.
No.
So, leaving on some depressing news. Well, we'll do Konami removes Kojima from the box art first.
Yeah, I joked on our Facebook page, which you guys should all like, and it's like on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no like subscribe.
Below us on Facebook.
Yeah, I wrote what a bunch of cocks, meaning Konami's kind of screwing over Kojima. But like when I was thinking about it more, it's like, does it really matter how many developers like get single names?
Yeah.
I mean, unless I understand Kojima Productions made it, but
The thing that I don't understand is, like, it just seems like such a spiteful thing to do because, like,
Yeah.
he obviously made the game, so why not just leave it on there? You know
I
what
wonder
I
if
mean?
it's on the back.
Maybe. It just seems like such a petty thing to do.
Yeah.
It's like literally it's the same exact box art. They just removed Kojima's name twice.
That'd be funny if you play the entire game. There's just a watermark that says Kojima.
Yeah, like a hidden.
I
button press.
I just want to know what happened. They'll never
Yeah.
talk about it.
I don't think they will. That's like
because it's.
I feel like the Japanese culture is too
Like,
close mouth for
It
that.
kind
You know,
of sounds like
keep it-
Konami wants to get out of expensive video games as
Yeah.
a business, but it also sounds like Kojima costs Konami a fucking fortune to make games.
Yeah.
So
Well, my question is this: like, yeah, Kojima is known for running his budget way over, but have they ever lost money on one of his games?
I don't know. I don't know how well those games
Because if they
sell.
have, I doubt they would have approved Metal Gear Solid 5.
So I feel like Metal Gear is a well-known game, but I feel like I don't know that many people to play it.
Yeah, I don't know. I
don't
don't know.
know.
I,
I don't
feel
know
like
either.
this one's gonna sell big for the same
I
reason
can't wait to
Bloodborne
see it.
did,
Yeah.
which is there's not much else out there.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's not true currently, I guess, because we've had a good with The Witcher and a bunch of other stuff coming out. So there's actually some stuff now, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And finally, the depressing news of the week is the president, Iwata, from Nintendo. Passed away at 55. I couldn't believe he was that young.
That sucks.
That's crazy. The most memorable quote that everyone is using, which kind of summed him
Was
up,
it
is-
something we said shitty about him?
Probably. It said, yeah, I'll get to that. On my business card, I'm a corporate president. In my mind, I'm a game developer, but in my heart, I'm a gamer. Yeah, I mean, I've said before how I don't think he should be president anymore. I think what he did was amazing things in the
what?
past.
I won't go there.
Yeah.
I kind of will, but
But I mean, you know, I think the Wii was an anomaly, which he scored for Nintendo, but I think that it was so short-sighted to just lean on that for the Wii U.
yeah.
But that being said, he's got one of the most ridiculous backgrounds of all time. My favorite story about him. So first of all, you know, Earthbound's like the most expensive video game I think that you can get. Apparently, he developed that entire game himself.
Like to buy?
Yeah, apparently it's like super rare. I think it's Earthbound. Don't quote
Is that
me
the
on
NES game?
I think so.
Okay. I always get that confused with Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
For some reason.
I think so. But one of the coolest things I saw is, so he was like a ridiculous game developer, coder. And back in the day, that's how he started, which is really cool too, because there was like a series of people that ran Nintendo. It was all from the same family since its inception. And he was the first one not to be from that family. And he was a game developer who was like the sickest game developer in the company. And when he was like, I don't think he was president, but maybe he was like something just below that. Whatever. He was like a high level executive, maybe president. And the GameCube was out. And Super Smash Bros. Melee was coming out, which is obviously key to that system because that system was struggling big time. And I think it was like a holiday release probably. There's 3 weeks left, and they didn't think they were going to be able to make the deadline because they just had like a shit ton of bugs. He was so talented and so dedicated that as the president or executive went down there, took over all of the bug squashing himself, and directed the team and got the game to release. And that game obviously still works. So
Jesus.
Like, that's a guy who's
I've never
like,
heard of that story.
Yeah, that's a guy who probably like wasn't even coding that much anymore. Or maybe he was. He probably was, obviously, because he's so. But like he wasn't involved in the coding of that game, and he was so talented that he was able to go down there, and he had the ambition to go down there and say, "I'm gonna do this." In 3 weeks, he was able to squash enough bugs to get it released.
What a shame.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
So I bet you there's a lot of really cool stories about him out there.
I'm sure they'll come out.
But yeah.
Oh, shit.
55.
Get that package from Laurel.
Oh,
I almost
shit.
completely forgot. Open that bad boy up in front of the camera. Laurel, one of our favorite people in the whole wide world, was kind enough to send us a gift.
God, I hope it's
And
Vicodins.
we're just going to open it right now.
All right.
We have no idea what it is.
She probably thinks we forgot about
It
her.
looks like a book.
Looks like a book.
It's Fabio's on the cover.
50 Shades of what? Hi, I heard you guys talking about...
There you go.
A gift from 8-Bit Bourbon. Hi, Andy and Adam. Heard you guys talking about Sony and Nintendo on the podcast. Figured you'd like to read this. Go ahead and give it away to a listener if you already have it. Read it. Enjoy. From Laurel Scott. Laurel, you are the goddamn shit. And I've heard of this book. It's very
I've heard of that
famous.
too.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Let me see it.
I should probably do
Oh,
a
yeah.
better job with the camera, huh?
Console Wars. Wow, thank you, Laurel.
That's fucking sweet.
I wonder if there's some cool Iwata stuff in there.
Yeah, I bet you there
When did he
is.
take over?
He's 55, so probably 20 years
Jesus,
ago.
I think Laurel killed Iwata trying to get us to read all these stories.
Dude, this is sweet.
See in there? Pictures? That's probably the only page I'll read. I'm just kidding.
Someone's hugging a Sonic. No, Nakayama.
You know what we should do with this? Good idea. Right now. We should start a book club thing. After me and you read it, we'll send it to a listener. We'll write our name in there, and then after the listener reads it, he'll send it to another listener.
I'm totally in for that, and I don't ever see it going anywhere.
Yeah, because this book is like thick. That's not that
pages is
bad.
it?
5.
Yeah, I think it's just thick pages.
Wow, Laurel, that's fucking awesome.
Oh, you're the shit. And actually, I've heard that book is really cool. It's got
Didn't,
all,
like-
the inside stories.
Yeah,
of,
didn't
like,
some
the
bad
game
shit go down
developers.
between these people?
This is gonna make me want to quit my job and do something else. I know it. I don't know.
Like corporate espionage?
Oh, well, that was part of... Oh, speaking of which, Podcast Beyond. Did we already talk about... I know we mentioned it, but did we talk about after I listened to it? That was so good. That
No,
podcast.
it was, don't give that. It was Podcast Unlocked.
Podcast Unlocked.
Yeah, that if you haven't listened to Phil Spencer...
It's just a 10.
yeah.
It's a must-listen. It's, some of the story... Like, those guys are so level-headed. It was so interesting to hear them talk.
This could be a movie? Soon to be a major motion
I
picture?
heard that, which is very odd. I hope it's like... I'd rather have it released as a documentary.
God, I
than a
hope Seth
motion
Rogen
picture.
and Evan Goldberg aren't behind it.
Yeah, no, right.
But wow, Laurel, this is fucking awesome.
Well, you're the shit. I'm
are.
gonna get you a chicken so that you can take it to your local chicken
We're gonna
killer.
send you a nice glass piece so you can smoke all your legal weed.
I think we should end it right there.
Yeah, anything more? I mean, hopefully. Wait, I would ask you, what do you think's next for Nintendo? Miyamoto take over?
I think it's got to be Miyamoto, but I think it should be Miyamoto as like an interim position till they get the NX out, and then you could pick someone maybe more executive. Because Miyamoto and Iwata are clearly the two most important guys there. Miyamoto's really like Zelda, Mario, I mean all that shit. But does he have the business acumen to do
It's
that
gonna be
job?
weird.
I
But
don't
also,
know.
you don't want all business to come in there and fuck up Nintendo.
Sure.
I mean, there was a lot of shit going on. Like, I'm sure they have the stuff planned out far down the road with the NX, the other mobile stuff. They had a dying system. They had no games that people were excited about.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an interesting time for Nintendo to see where they go. I mean, obviously the loss of life is more important, but this is gonna be a hard time for Nintendo as a company.
Yeah, it will be interesting. I mean, I think Iwata should have been like head of marketing rather than president. That's my opinion on the thing, because I think that he was lacking a little bit of that business. But I mean, you see guys like Phil Spencer now turning around Xbox, and it's partially because I'm sure he's very business savvy, but it's also because he's like a human being that speaks to people, and like that's what Iwata was. He was like the voice that he used to do Ask Iwata or whatever, like some like weekly thing or monthly thing, and like that's why people loved him, is because he was just a guy that would like be a normal dude to everybody.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Me either.
It's gonna be really interesting.
It's tough.
I love all the guys. I love what's his name, Reggie too.
He's weird looking.
He's weird as shit, but that's why I like him in the same way I like Steve Ballmer. They're like fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
I imagine Reggie just sits at his office and does nothing all day.
Yeah, I don't think that he.
Probably
they need him to like have some sort of American presence, because the rest of that company is so like I don't even know that they all speak perfect English. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like they need that.
Did you ever go to the
presence.
Nintendo of America store in New York City when you lived there? Isn't there like a big Nintendo store?
I don't know. I never been. Never walked by.
Guess you're too cool for it.
I didn't know it existed, but I'm definitely also too cool for it.
All right.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you again, Laurel.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was
Good shit.
awesome.
I'm gonna go.
And all you guys should send us gifts.
Yeah, seriously. Where the fuck are the rest of them?
I know it's been 84 weeks.
We're going to send all of Jay's collection to random listeners.
We're gonna send Laurel all of Jay's collection.
Would you like 7 ColecoVisions, Laurel? So that's it. Follow us. We're gonna try to do more twitching. We're 8-Bit Bourbon on Twitch, obviously. We're 8bitbourbon@gmail.com if you want to write us questions or send us gifts. We'll get you our address.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We got some videos up.
Yep.
Nothing crazy.
Obviously 8-Bit Bourbon. And I don't know, Twitter, Facebook, like us, all that shit. And that's it for this week, I think. I'm Andy.
I'm Adam.
We're 8-Bit Bourbon.
Bye-bye.